Hey guys, Zombievi here. I don't really have much of an intro for this video, it's just the Pokemon that I happen to like the most and the least from each region. I just thought it'd be something fun to talk about. I don't really hate any Pokemon. I mean, I love more or less all Pokemon. So if you happen to like the ones that I like the least, all power to you. I'm glad you can enjoy something that I don't much. I'm not gonna waste time. Let's get into it. I'm going from Alola down to Kanto, so you can save the nostalgia for last and I can tear apart a Pokemon that you may or may not like. So starting with the Pokemon that I like the most from Alola. You've probably heard me talk about it before, and I'm still undecided, but it's Silvally or Mimikyu. It's always going to be one of those two. I just love them both so much. They're the Pokemon in the region that have the most story surrounding them, Silvally being the Frankenstein adorable Chimera Pokemon, and Mimikyu being the sad wannabe Pikachu Pokemon. They're both adorable and they're both awesome and I love them, so yeah, pick one. So the Pokemon that I like the least from Alola, Crabomination. I know that's not its name, but it's Crabomination to me. Why does this Pokemon? Why? Why did they give a crab monkey abs? It's just so ugly. I'm sure it's a fine enough Pokemon. I have definitely not given it a chance because I don't want to have anything to do with it. Why? Why is it so ugly? Why does it have the buck teeth? But basically, that really sums it up. I just don't understand the design in a region full of amazing, unique, colourful, amazing Pokemon. This thing just really stands out. Like, even next to Bruxish, this thing is fugly. I'm sorry. Okay, Generation 6, the Kalos region. Pokemon that I like the most out of this region? It's fairly hard to pick actually, especially since they were throwing the Dragon type around on everywhere in this region. My favourite is Dragalge. I mean, you know, its name is Dragon Algae. If you pronounce it Algae, it's kind of a weird name in my vocabulary. I think this guy is freaking cool. You know, I loved Skrelp when that was released. I'm like, this little meth seahorse, hopefully he evolves into something cool because I love seaweed dragons. Kingdra was close. It was, obviously I love Kingdra, but I didn't actually see what, you know, I didn't have this spoiled for me, so I'm like, I'm gonna train up to my little methy Skrelp and see what happens. And I got fucking Dragalge, and it was beautiful, and it was this big poison dragon seaweed beast, and I just love it. My least favourite Pokemon in the Kalos region, Aromatisse. It's a fat flamingo. Why? It looks like it's based off burlesque dancing, which I adore. I love burlesque. I think it's one of the most beautiful dance forms that women especially can do, and this thing is just a slap in the face with its big fat ugly face. Okay, so next is the Unova region, Gen 5, one that a lot of people actually really dislike, pretty much solely for Garbodor. I never understood that. I think it's an amazing region, and why would you let basically Muck ruin it for you? I actually like Garbodor. Spoiler warning, he's not on this list. He's fine. But yeah, in general, it's just a region that I've really enjoyed. These games I love, and I love the Pokedex. Pretty much all the Pokemon are awesome and unique in this one. But my number one favourite is very easy for me to pick. I love it. It's Chandelure. Chandelure is actually an object Pokemon, which is universally hated as a concept for Pokemon, but Chandelure is almost always an exception because you can barely even tell. It's just an awesomely designed Pokemon. The Ghost Fire type is awesome. He's got a wicked voice. I love his curly arms. I just love Chandelure. I can go on and on about it forever, very easily. I've said that about almost every Pokemon already, but still, get the idea. So the Pokemon I like the least in the Unova region, it's 3 Pokemon. I bet you can already guess. It's the monkeys. I'm not even gonna look up their names because I don't want to remember. I have blocked these ugly fuckers out of my head. And I think the insult on injury is the fact that you basically have to rely on one at the start of the game and then instantly box that fugly thing. Because nope, they're not coming with me on my journey. Fuck off, monkey. Of all the Pokemon that I'm hating on this list today, these are the ones that I hate the most. And probably Simipour the most because Ew. So next is Generation 4. Also, just a weird thing I have to point out since I'm thinking about my favourite Pokemon from these regions. A lot of them are the girly Pokemon, and for some reason, 3 of the girls had the no leg arm thing going on. I mean, it's a really cool design, but why are they all in the one region? Like, I had all these Pokemon on my team, so it's like I had a lot of floating ladies. And choosing my favourite out of these ones, it was definitely up between Mismagius and Frostlass. And it's still difficult for me to pick, but I had the shiny Frostlass, I evolved it with you guys, so I'm just gonna go with Frostlass as my favourite from this region. So, my least favourite Pokemon from Generation 4, the generation that released a lot of evolutions for some reason. Yeah, my least favourite is definitely one of those. Probopass. Probopass? Probopass. Nosepass itself was, you know, it could pass as just a forgettable Pokemon. It was kind of derpy and retarded, the fact that it just had a giant nose. I get it, it's a compass, but Probopass is just, it's fugly older uncle that comes to Christmases and makes everyone feel uncomfortable. What? I get that they went with that design, but I wish that they hadn't because it just doesn't look good. Nope. I get that it's a powerful Pokemon. Going up against it, it's a bitch, but why does it have to be so stupid? I'm sorry again if you like it. Look at it. Moving right along, Generation 3, the Hoenn region, which is my personal favourite. My favourite Pokemon, I talk about it enough, it's Mawile. That's obvious. Always have Mawile on my team. She's just the most unique, gorgeous, weird, adorable, and useful Pokemon of all of them in my opinion. I love her. So to avoid being repetitious, I'm not just going to rant about her, I'm just going to throw in other Pokemon from the region that are definitely my favourites, and that is Flygon, Milotic. That's basically, I love those 3. So choosing my least favourite was actually the most difficult in this one because I think they're all great. Even the Volbeat and Lumies. I think they're fine even though they're fugly, but there was definitely one that I dislike. Meditite? I don't hate this one with a passion or anything like I have the other ones, it's just one that I find particularly uncomfortable. It's a Zen monkey in a diaper. I'm not going to talk about that for too long because I don't have as much to say, so moving right along to Generation 2, the Johto region. My most favourite is easily one of the evolutions, Umbreon and Espeon. I've spent pretty much my entire life not sure which one out of these two that I prefer. It's always been a toss-up because they're both so great. But I think fairly recently I've been able to decide, so it's Espeon. It's the prettier of the two, and I like the psychic typing, and I just find her more alluring in a way. So for me, my number 1 from Johto is Espeon. So my least favourite from Johto. Again, they're all great. It was really hard because none of them really stand out as being obnoxiously ugly or anything like that. They're all fine in their own way. But my least favourite is Ledian. I don't know why, its design puts me off. It's a very throwaway Pokemon. People completely forget about it. It's just an early bug type, but to me, it doesn't look like a Pokemon. It looks more like a cartoon out of some other kids show. It's got the gloves. It doesn't seem very fitting to me. Again, it's not a Pokemon that I overly dislike. I don't hate Ledian. I just don't really see it as a Pokemon, if that makes sense. It seems very out of place. And it's derpy. And it's forgettable. And it's boring. Maybe they could do something cool with it. Maybe they could give it a 3rd evolution or something, but as it is, it's just Ledian. Okay, so Generation 1. The Kanto region. The original. This is where I hopefully won't make nostalgia people hate me. Because everything has its good and its bad. And that includes the Kanto region. My favourite Pokemon from the Kanto region, in a way it's obviously Eevee and the Eeveelutions, yes. But I'm gonna say Ninetales. I love Ninetales. I've always thought that it has one of the most beautiful designs out of all these original Pokemon. And it's cool. It's one that I've always, you know, aimed to get every time I do a playthrough. It's like, where's that Vulpix? And Ninetales is just pretty and awesome and I love it. Before I go on to my least favourite, I want to bring up two Pokemon that you may have thought would easily be contenders, and they were, but they're not actually Pokemon that I dislike. Mime and Jynx. Mr. Mime. Yes, these Pokemon are embarrassments, basically, and I'm almost of the opinion that I think Game Freak should have just tried to boycott them from the beginning. They're too creepy and offensive. Okay, I'm sorry. If you are happy to see Mr. Mime, that's great. I'm just sort of speaking as a general opinion. These guys are a bit off as Pokemon. They're a bit out of place and creepy and weird. But they're not my least favorites, and I think they could be actually great Pokemon if they gave them evolved forms. If they made these guys just middle evolutions, they would fade a little bit into obscurity and you would remember the evolved forms, and the evolved forms could be cool. They could. So just real quick, I drew these designs. They took me minutes. Like, obviously they're pretty bad, but they took minutes for me to think up, design and draw, and yeah, I reckon they're plausible final evolutions for these guys. They're fitting. I kept with the creepiness for Mr. Mime, Master Mime, because yeah. And Hexet, who is the evolved form for Jynx, she's just kind of, obviously there's no way to make Jynx look really overly that great, but she kept the ice design implement. She's still a lady. I don't know. They're just throwaway designs, but I just wanted to show how quickly and easily Game Freak could come up with something that's fitting for these guys. And I actually like my Master Mime. I would probably have one of these. I reckon he could be Dark Fairy. Get rid of the Psychic, add Dark, because that's not one that we've got yet, and he's a bit weird. So anyway, that little point out the way, my actual least favourite Pokemon from the Kanto region. And I really need to apologise because I hope you don't get offended. It's Poliwrath. Poliwag, adorable. Poliwhirl, bit sort of cartoony, but I like him, there's nothing wrong with him. Poliwrath, it's just an angry Poliwhirl. That is the most pointless evolution of any Pokemon. It literally just, it just gets a bit angry. Why? Oh, and I guess the fighting type, yes, cool, whatever, but for a fighting water type, they could have done better. I'm sorry, Poliwrath fans, but I don't see it. I see lazy design for an evolution. The ones I just, Master Mime and Hexet, they were lazy. I put no effort into those, and yet Poliwrath exists. I'm gonna stop rambling there because I realize that I've spent a lot of this time just really ripping on Pokemon that I don't like. That's kind of out of character for me because I do like all Pokemon, but when I have an opinion, I'm going to speak it. And I'm gonna finish this there. Again, I hope I haven't offended anyone. I've talked about Pokemon that I like, so there is positivity in this video. And again, it was just for the sake of conversation. If you happen to disagree with me, please let me know. I want to hear about the Pokemon that you like and dislike. List them all in the comments. Thank you guys all so much for watching. This one was pretty much unscripted, so if I'm rambling and if I feel a bit in this one, it's because I am just speaking off the top of my head and trying to get this video together. I love you guys, I miss you guys. Again, I'll see you around. Bye!